Wednesday. We're about 20 minutes late. Better than a whole day like last week. But thank you so much for joining us here. It's back to football this week. Ravori Sports podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content.
Now you guys can hear me clearly as we talk this week because we got Ravens this week. We had a great Terps game. We got college basketball coming up here pretty soon. We got the NBA start. Always said October is the best month in sports. You got NHL starting, NBA starting. We got the World Series going on right at this second. NFL is still going on in midseason form. College football here still going on. We're going to talk a little bit of high school football here. City Poly game coming up. Army, Navy. Both of those games are near and dear to my heart for obvious reasons. Went to Baltimore City College, was third in the Army. So talk a little bit about those things as well. NBA on NBC is back. Michael Jordan was actually on the broadcast for 3 minutes last night with Mike Tirico. So good stuff that's going on right now. So let's go ahead and get this going. Ravori Sports.company.site. That's our flagship. Definitely you can get Ravens jerseys, hats, jerseys. We also have links with Fanatics. So definitely to check us out. Go on our website or on our social media pages. Click on the link that's there, and you could go ahead and we can get Ravens hats and jerseys, Orioles, Terps. Look when the games are going on. Little clue there. So when the Orioles are going on or the Ravens or the Terps going on, you might see those links live during the game. So just keep that in mind as well. Also to Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. Definitely you can book a session. You could go to Google. So definitely go to Genesis Notary Services, Winchester, Virginia. I saw like I was the most Googled notary in Winchester for whatever that's worth. So definitely thank you for that. All of you out there, and definitely check us out if you need a wedding officiant, you need field inspection, you need all these services. We have them at Genesis Notary Services as well. Also, too, we have Harris Legal Shield. So definitely check that out for all of you business owners, especially need to collect money or whatever. There is some really rough stuff going on right here in the real world. So my heart goes out to a lot of people, a lot of the government workers that are out working and not working right now. A lot of the people. So my heart goes out to you. I won't go any further than that, but it's a rough time. So definitely if you need legal assistance, whatever, and you need a really good cost, legal services are a really good service for you. So definitely check that out. Genesis Notaries, Harris Legal Shield. Definitely go to our Facebook page and get that taken care of. So we had a bye last week, but now we're back to business this week. Down in M&T Bank Stadium, as they call it. I've never been a big fan of M&T Bank, by the way, like in general. Like I had an account that obviously like a Ravens fan, hey, we're going to get a Ravens account and all that. And they go in there and you get a card or a Ravens card and all that. So I don't know. A long time ago, maybe things have changed. I was never that big of a fan of M&T Bank. But the stadium is going to hold the game here, all the Ravens game, downtown M&T Bank Stadium. And we are going to go ahead and get that squared away. Because the Ravens, we're going to have two of the good quarterbacks, first-round picks in this game. Caleb Williams on the other side, most recent first-round pick last year, 2024. And Lamar Jackson, who was the last pick of the first round. Lamar, who was the last pick of the first round, I think it was 2018. Yeah, 2018. So 4-2 Bears. So the Bears are really rolling as of late. After losses early, the Bears are really playing well here as of late. Very important game for them. They need to keep pace with the Packers and the Lions, who are really good here at the start. Caleb, that's not spelled right. Caleb Williams, 1351, as far as yards, 9 TDs, 3 interceptions. Caleb's been really good. I think Caleb has all the talent in the world. I don't understand people that really don't like Caleb in terms of the talent that he has. I just personally don't get it. I think he's got all the talent in the world. I think the question with him, he's one of these few people in life that's so talented that he needs to. He's a stallion that needs to be gelded in a weird way. He can't. You're at the highest level now, so you can't just do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. You can't just throw with the wrong foot. You got to be set in your stance. You got to be. Guys are closer to the level of you, so he's got to be more disciplined. Ben Johnson, who looks like the meanest man in the world in general, but man, he's playing with more discipline. You can see that, and the results are showing as well. DeAndre Swift. Looks like he's looking better behind a better Bears line as well. So Swift, 89 carries, 419, 3 TDs, good start. That's well on your way to a 1,000-yard season so far as well. He's not bad. I don't think he's an elite back. I wouldn't put him in the top 2 or 3 with Saquon Barkley. I mean, I want to say Derek Barry when Saquon Barkley, sorry, but certainly Christian McCaffrey and all that. I wouldn't put him in that category, but you have a DeAndre Swift. He's a good, solid offensive player, good, solid in between the tackles. Speed is right. I'd like to see him a little bit tougher. I think when he doesn't get those big runs, he could go out of games and he's ineffective. But I think he's got great speed, obviously. So as well. Rome Odunze. So here's a guy that last year a lot of players were questioning the pick because he got picked Malik Neighbors in the same draft, and Odunze's been the number 1 receiver here so far. A little bit better as far as stats as DJ Moore as well. Former Terp, by the way, DJ Moore as well. So DJ Moore is at 22 receptions and 258 yards and 1 TD, and you see it on the screen: 22 receptions, 328 yards, and 5 TDs for Rome Odunze. So I think he's been good in the red area as well. That's kind of the one thing I would say with DJ Moore. Like, he's probably, I think, better in the red area as well. When you get down near the goal line, I think this seems to be where he's looking to throw Caleb Williams as well. Defense is an issue in Chicago. Termaine Edmonds has been getting a lot of tackles. Just because always you see a guy getting a lot of tackles, it's not reflective of the player, but sometimes it's reflective of bad defense at times. Do you see a safety with a lot of tackles? I mean, that doesn't mean you're uber effective. Edmonds has got great speed. He's all over the field. I think he's reminds me a little bit of Derek Brooks. Not as good, but a little bit of Derek Brooks because he's all over the field. You're not going to watch this game in Termaine Edmonds and not see him involved because he's going to play a role in this game. He's going to be all over the field. A little off ball. I think he's kind of better off ball than he is at the mic, but I think he's just definitely going to be their guy. Defensively, this team has a bunch of issues. They don't have great pass rush. They do have decent linebackers as well. The secondary has been coming on a little bit, but I think the Ravens can exploit it. You absolutely can with your fearless leader, big trust Lamar Jackson, back in action this week. 10 TDs, 1 interception. He did miss practice Monday. He did practice today. He limited. He'll play. I think he'll play. I think like they were just being cautious, whatever. Hamstring, you got to be careful too. Hamstring, you don't want to. It's not that hard if you go too quick to re-aggravate it. It's been about 24 days since he's been on a practice or game field as well. So it's been about he's had a little while to heal this. And so just being cautious, you don't want to do too much. I think by Friday I'm almost positive for Thursday's practice he'll be limited again. And then by Friday, they're going to ramp him up and actually have him actually in a full practice and test it out, see where they are. Derrick Henry, I thought, was good last week in a loss. I think this was the first time, and the last time they played, I thought this was the first time he actually got 20 carries and actually didn't win the game. So that's a tell. the Derrick Henry we saw in the Rams game, we'll take that, and that'll be effective as well. Plus, you are going to have Lamar Jackson back in the game, so you are going to be able to throw the ball. You are going to have options down the field. Zay Flowers probably had his worst game as a pro. Still definitely your number one receiver. 34, 423, and 1 TD. Just too many fumbles in that last game. 2 fumbles. Zay Flowers, a guy who never fumbles the football. We've seen in his 3 seasons. Had a terrible time holding on to the football in that last game. So not too worried about Zay Flowers as a whole. Some days you have days like that as well. Also, too, will it help Zay Flowers is having Lamar Jackson back under center. Kyle Hamilton is back. Like from the last game, the Rams game, more what I saw from Kyle Hamilton. That looked like the Kyle Hamilton that we need to see out here going forward. Yeah, we're not doing that. All right, Kyle Hamilton. I saw that because they have Gilman there as well. So they moved. I think he's going to play a lot in the starting lineup. So keep that in mind that with the trade, they're very familiar with each other. And you saw a lot more of Kyle Hamilton at the line of scrimmage, blitzing more, being more that the ultimate Swiss Army knife, the number one safety in the NFL, which he has been the last couple of years. X factors in this game. X2 stars, Lamar Jackson back after, like we just talked about, 24 days we haven't seen Lamar Jackson on a football field. That's a lot. I predict there's going to be some rust in the first quarter. It just is going to be because he hasn't played in so long. So there is going to be some rust, I think, for him in the first quarter. That's just the way that's going to go. I think he'll be fine. The Bears defense, I don't think, is very good, and he should do well in this game. Roquan Smith on defense. So what are we going to get from Roquan? Because those 2 linebackers starting to look pretty good in the other one. So will they manage his snaps? Will he be what we've seen? I think part of the problem why he hasn't played as well this season was the injury that he had. He wasn't healthy like we've known him to be as well. So he hasn't been able to play as well. So he definitely is going to be a guy that is going to try and get in. Look more like the all-pro that we have been seeing all these years. He's going to look like more like the guy that we're used to all these years with Roquan Smith, the all-pro. I got to tell you, there's a lot of people, even with the Steelers lead in the division, especially with the way the Bengals look, that still believe that the Ravens can win the division at 1-5, and even with the Steelers at 4-2. Let me tell you, you lose this game to the Bears, you can stop believing. You better start selling off players. You better start. This absolutely is a must-win for the Ravens. No other way around it. No way you go out and it's a 1-6 team getting the playoffs. It's time to start trading away Andrews. After this, time to start looking for a home for Keaton Mitchell. Time to start doing a lot of things. This is it. This is a playoff game this week. So you're going to have to win this week against the Bears to actually do anything going forward. There you go. Back to football this week. NFL action is ready, and we are all ready for the NFL. I'm just on the roll. He's on the So all that's going to happen, whatever the gong, the loud, whatever you're on this week, we're going to watch the Ravens game Sunday, 1 o'clock. So definitely check that out. This is must win. No way you can go ahead and lose and tell me that you're still trying to make a playoff run. Not going to happen. All right. So let's go over this as well. Big Five. 5 biggest games on the NFL schedule that are not Raven games here. All right, 5 biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games. Let's go over the 5 biggest games last week as well. One of the best rivalries of the NFL history, the Cowboys and the Commanders. Cowboys didn't take any prisoners in this game, 44-12. Concerned about Jaden Daniels if you're Washington. Hurt again, going to be out. Mariota as well. They did have that good win over the Chargers, but that's really all they've done good the last few weeks. So, bit of a concern for them. Colts and the Chargers. I would say after this week, if I'm going to buy the Colts, I'm a buyer. Colts look good. That game was not competitive against the Chargers had it not been for Justin Herbert being there. That would have been worse than what it looked. And the score, I don't think, was even reflective of what had actually happened. So good stuff from the Colts. Really impressed. Their offense looks good. Tyler Warren really looks like a player. There's no question about it as well. Somebody else looks like a player is Sam Darnold. I think like this was one of the biggest mistakes like we've seen them letting him go. I mean, they really should have considered franchising him, keeping him as well, because the Seahawks look really good with Darnold under center. Darnold, I don't think it's crazy to have him dark horse, the man that sees ghosts at one point in his career is a dark horse MVP. He's got 12 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He's been really good. Jags, just not consistent enough. Just not consistent enough. You got to be. Lawrence is just. This is kind of what we're saying. Like every week, week to week, is different. That mistake was left in the Vikings. Vikings, they just don't have a quarterback. They have good stuff there, but they just don't have a quarterback. Hurts, I thought, looked as good as I've ever seen him last week in that game. I think Hurts, is never going to get credit because it just doesn't look like Joe Montana. It just I'm talking about just the eyeball. Like it just doesn't look like it. But he was sensational in this game. He was the reason they won over Minnesota. That was the biggest difference. They had a quarterback, an elite quarterback, a solid quarterback, and they didn't as well. And the Lions and the Bucks. Lions back on track, I thought, in this game. The Lions, I didn't really think too much of either way. When the Lions get their formula going, they get the run game going, they're really able to push you around. They were able to get going as well. I think they're probably, even the Bucks in a loss, maybe the best team in the NFC, the 2 best teams in the NFC. All right, that was last week. This is this week. We got the Cowboys going into Denver against against the Denver Broncos. One of my favorite stadiums in the NFL is Mile High as well. I can say this. It's interesting. The Cowboys have a lot of offense. They're going to score points, especially now it's CeeDee Lamb and all that, Prescott. And so they have offense to get the job done whenever they want to do that. So they're extremely impressive as far as scoring points. Late game, by the way, on Sunday, I think is 4:00 game. So they're very impressive as far as what they can do on offense. Denver, I think, is really going on defense. I think it was a little bit of a slow start for them, but I thought it was interesting how they've actually come back around now. It looks like they're getting back to what we saw last year as well. Cowboys, I think, can only win when they score a lot of points, though, as well. Bo Nix, I will say this. Bo Nix, I think, is not good for 4 quarters, but he's good in the fourth quarter, right? You look at his stats late in games, and he's exactly what you need. So I think that's the thing. Again, talked about these second-year quarterbacks: Caleb Williams, Jane Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix, Penix. We're getting good news out of a lot of them here. The last couple of weeks, I wasn't sure. But Bo Nix, I don't know if he's ever going to be an elite quarterback. He might be, but certainly he's good late games. That's a good quality to have. I like Denver at home. Never bad to take Denver and Denver. Two teams who need a win are good teams, but are really scuffling lately as well. I don't know if J.J. McCarthy is going to play in this game or not. I don't know if they have a quarterback. I don't know if either one of these guys is any good, honestly. Wentz, I think, had 2 picks last week. That's why he's still on the bench all these years. Like he's inconsistent as well. So Wentz, I think, he still might be better than McCarthy because I don't know if McCarthy's an NFL quarterback. The Chargers have a lot of problems, banged up as well. I think with Justin Herbert, will that be enough? Yes, I think it'll be enough against the Chargers, against the Vikings as well. The Vikings, I mean, are good. They have good players on their team. But they're just not going to score enough points with that quarterback. I think they're going to be game, but I think the Chargers do have some issues as far as winning the division. Denver and Kansas City in that division are really good, but I think they win this game over the Chargers. Some people are concerned about the Bills, the way they've looked. This is a little hyperbolic. I think like their offense is certified and bona fide for sure, because Josh Allen is still there. Their run game is still decent. Offensive line is not as good as maybe as hoped, but it's still decent enough. I'm not, wide receivers. I never thought they had great receivers, but they're going to score points as well. Defensively, their secondary is an issue as well. I don't think Carolina beats them because for sure we know Carolina is not going to have Bryce Young in this game. So Carolina. I think it's Andy Dalton starting this game, so that ain't gonna get it. I was just trying to remember Andy Dalton. I think the Bills do score enough points in this game as well. Panthers defense is coming along. I think it's a little better than what people think. A lot of people think that their defense is bad. They have Derek Brown there. They have some players, J.C. Horn, but I think the Bills kind of get right here against a Panthers team who is, I think, hanging tough. I think they're 3-3 and they're hanging tough. This is probably one of the biggest games of the week that people are absolutely looking forward to. So this is Aaron Rodgers going back to Green Bay to play his former team on the Sunday night game against the Green Bay Packers. I think these two teams are total opposites. You got a Steelers, who I think are the most. I don't know. I don't have the stat in front of me if this is true, but they're the most veteran-laden team in the league. I think they got more guys over 30 than any team I can think of off the top of my head. Jalen Ramsey, Cam Hayward, Aaron Rodgers. A lot of their good players are at or near 30, and they're a very veteran-laden team. And the Packers, I think, are pretty young as well. A lot of their guys are under 25. I don't think the Steelers go in and go get this game in Green Bay. I do think the Steelers. I think the cracks are starting to show a little bit. I mean, they have some offense. Aaron is still pretty good, but I don't think they have enough points to go against a really good offense in Green Bay and score. I don't think they can win shootouts. I think they can win. I think they're going to have good offensive days against teams that don't do well. Micah Parsons and their Steelers offensive line really is going to be interesting as well. So they have two really good pass rush in Green Bay. I like the Packers over the Squealers in this one. Last game, Chefs and the Chiefs. Chefs and the Commanders. Just mentioned the Commanders. Jaden Daniels not going to play in this one. They're going to have Marcus Mariota actually go most of the way in this. The Chiefs look good. I mean, they really look solid. I mean, from what I have seen here so far, the receiving core with Rashee Rice in there is really good. They don't have a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase for his multiplier, but you go down the list. I mean, I don't know if there's a better group of 5 receivers. So you got pretty good. You got like 4 or 5 guys that can really start all year for you. Commanders, I think, yeah, I think Mariota is capable of having some good games here, but I think the wheels are starting to fall off the school bus a little bit for the Commanders. I think if you can get it, though, I think this is a really chance for them to right the ship, but like the Chefs in this one. There you go. All right, big 5 biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games. So go ahead and enjoy all the games this weekend as well. So the Terps have a week off. They're going to have a game against the Hoosiers. You said a number 2 ranked Indiana team. We're not talking about basketball. We're talking about the Heisman candidate coming in. We'll talk about that. We'll certainly chop that one up. With such a highly ranked Hoosiers team coming in. But we got Maryland and UCLA come last week. 3 straight weeks we've had 3 really good, for me, Maryland games to watch as well. But 3 straight weeks we've lost. So the Terps lost to UCLA last week. Again, you could have won the game had it not been for some miscues as well in this one. I gotta say, like, they're not helping their young quarterback. The concern at the beginning of the year is you're going to get this freshman quarterback, fresh out of Archbishop Spalding, just right, literally at the prom, usually a few months ago. He's going to come in, and you're going to have to. He has been carrying them. I see too many drop passes, too many guys not catching the foot, too many guys, too many times off sides, too much not in the run game. Like, the opposite is true. You got vets out there. You got to help your quarterback. You got to help your quarterback. Not that he didn't do any. Not that he never does anything wrong with him. But like, come on, guy. I mean, you got to do more to help. I mean, you're getting a gift here with a talented young guy. 48 passes is just too much as well. The run game continues to be anemic. I think the only thing that brought it up was the Terps run game I'm talking about. The run game, the only thing that's bringing it up is they decided, like, we got to run more of the quarterback, Malik Washington, as well. So they're not getting run game at all. There wasn't even a threat of a run game in this one. UCLA they were just staying back in zone like the whole entire time in this game. It's crazy. Like, they just didn't even try and run the ball when they did run the ball, and I think that's what's kind of contributed to some of the problems. They're just staying back in zone. Most defenses now play zone anyway. But that's what's the cost. The defense, the Terps defense is, I think, one of the better ones in all college football. It's fantastic. I think, like, they had an interception. They had an interception for a touchdown in this one. They had a couple sacks. They got a little too fired up. Trey Riddick, linebacker, got thrown out. But, yeah, man, I think you just got to get some fundamentals on offense. Mike Loxley's job status, we'll see. I don't think he survives a bad – you keep losing here, and I figure, like, in this next game, I said you're playing a really good team. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But Terps 4-3 now. They're not going to play this week. November 1st is the next Terps game where they're going to go against the Indiana Hoosiers. And we're definitely going to chop that one up as well. A lot going on that week. I'm going to have to do a little bit more of an expanded show because there's a lot coming up here. We got the City Poly game, all this other stuff that's going on. So we're going to talk about all that. So we may have to dance a little longer. The NBA is back. So the NBA started last night. We got the NBA on NBC that was back. Mike Tirico on the first game with Jamal Crawford and the legendary Reggie Miller. Reggie, one of my favorite players of all time, even though he wasn't a Laker. So Reggie was fantastic as well. He's been actually broadcasting 18 years. I couldn't believe it when he said it. Yeah. So first game, Houston against the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously the World Championships. NBA has long done this. So the first night, even though they don't announce it like the NFL does, the first night is the team that wins the championships in their home building, where they go ahead and they pass out the rings, which they did before the game as well. They didn't have Aaron Wiggins in this game as well, but I thought this was a really close game to the end. So OKC goes ahead and wins a close game. They didn't look as good as they did a lot of last year. So maybe it was his first game. Houston's really good. Obviously, after the one game, we don't know the story of the whole season. If Houston's going to be really good as well. Going to have Durant there. I'm not as big of Durant guy as other people are. I think Durant is a scoring machine. I don't think he's a leader per se in terms of he's going to get you a lot of points, but I'm not as excited about it. I do think Houston's going to be there. They're very well coached as well, but they could have had that game last night, but that was a little bit too much. Kevin Durant in that game. A little bit too much SGA in that one, and they were actually to go get it. Second game, the Lakers and the Warriors. Look, as much of a Lakers fan as I've always been, and I'm really excited about the Luka Doncic era as well. Stop with the Lakers and the Warriors from the networks. Steph Curry is 38 years old. He's a great player. They're not going to win the title. They're too old. I think the Warriors are not going to win the title. They're too old. This is going to sound crazy to some of you, but I think getting rid of Jordan Poole was a mistake. That sounds crazy. And so it's like, what is he? But I think the problem is Poole, and they're doing kind of the same thing with Jonathan Kuminga, taking minutes away from him with the plays, and Curry and Draymond, and now they brought in Jimmy Butler. See, they don't mind Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler's a vet, same age, so he's going to just blend. He's not going to take minutes away. But I think that's the problem, and they've gotten older. So I don't think they do much. Lakers, I think, are a better team. I think, believe it or not, they still need LeBron in there as well. Is because Luka's just going to get you 50 points and you're not going to win games if you don't have LeBron in there. So I do think they need LeBron. LeBron, I think, is going to be a couple weeks away. There's no reason to rush LeBron. I do believe I'd be surprised if LeBron played past this year. I think it's about it for him. I don't think he wants to be a guy. I don't think he wants to just be a guy on a team. Some guys can do that. Like Vince Carter did that for the last 5 years. He played till he was 42. I don't think LeBron really wants to do that. I think he's having, again, a hard time accepting that he's not going to be the main guy, that this isn't his team. I think some guys just can't do that. So I think like that. So Warriors did win last night as well. Jordan, a lot of people are talking about Michael Jordan, a special contributor. Jordan was on for 3 minutes talking to Mike Tirico. I don't. That was about what I expected. Jordan is not a guy that, as great as Michael Jordan is, as great an athlete as Michael Jordan is. Jordan is not someone that's this dynamic media guy or just dynamic personality. He doesn't like talking to people. He doesn't like people in general. He's kind of just sitting in his house, in his massive house, and he's going to talk about what he wants to talk about, and that's all you're going to see from Michael as well. But I think the NBC, I think having the NBA on NBC, the presentation was fantastic. I think as well. So definitely check that out. NBA season is starting. Keep in mind, no longer TNT, Amazon. It was weird tonight before I came on, seeing the Inside the NBA guys, Barkley and all that on ESPN. So you're going to have a lot more games to watch too. So that'll be interesting as well. All right. World Series is going on right now, and I'll take a look at the score. I like to have gotten started like before the game started. So the World Series starts on Friday night as well. So yeah, it's Friday. I'm sorry, I thought. So the World Series is going on Friday night. Tremendous ALCS. Fantastic stuff. I mean, if you like baseball at all, and I know some of us are Oriole fans are still salty about like not having a good Orioles season, but man, if you like baseball at all, man, you had to like that the ALCS. Great stuff. I thought both teams. Shame one of those deals where you shame both teams can't win. Two teams that haven't been in a long time. Mariners have never been to the World Series. This is the closest they've ever been. 7 games in American League Championship Series. And he came up short to the Toronto Blue Jays, who are now going back to the World Series for the first time, I think, in 30 plus years as well. So I thought, I really don't have a lot negative about either team in this series. I thought the managing, was good. Strategically, I thought their stars were good. Cal Raleigh was really good throughout the course of this series. Julio Rodriguez really showed up in this one for most of these games. This really could have went either way. I think the Blue Jays all season long, the reason why they did win is they've had timely hitting when they needed it. And I think that has been so crucial and important that when you get it, when you do need it, you're getting that timely hitting. You're getting that great hitting. You're getting that when you need it. I think like they're probably of all the teams in the American League, that includes the Yankees, includes the Mariners, whatever, from 1 to 9, their batting order has been productive. You saw it the other night in that game 7, like that huge home run by Rodriguez to really go ahead, clear the bases. I think for this young guy, best is yet to come. He's really developing right before us. But George Springer, terrific 3-run homer to put him ahead. I thought that was the one mistake the Mariners made. That guy was gassed. He had pitched 2 innings the night before, and you put him back in, and they could have went to Munoz. We could always second guess it, but I think that was at the time. I was like, oh, he's a little gassed, so I was a little concerned about that. But that was outstanding stuff. I thought the whole series was fantastic. If we get a World Series matching that, we're all going to be happy because that was fantastic stuff. 2 excellent teams. Real quick state of the Mariners. Mariners don't have to do – they're going to have a few free agents that they have to sign. I think like that. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the offseason for me, especially with Suarez at third base. I think he's going to be one of the guys that they're definitely – interesting to see what they do. This is a franchise really that doesn't really keep a lot of their guys. I mean, this is certainly not a team that signs a lot of free agents, but they got Suarez as a free agent. Ferguson is a free agent. Polanco, I think, is a free agent. Polanco's going to have a market. Mitch Garver. So they're going to have some options there. Some guys they're going to have to look at as well. So Blue Jays go on. They're going to play the Dodgers. U.S. versus Canada in the World Series. Let's talk about the Dodgers in this series. This was all Dodgers in this one. This was the glass slipper kind of fell off Cinderella when we talk about the Brewers as well. Because the Dodgers, this was a good old-fashioned butt kicking in every sense. Dodgers won it from start to finish. I got to tell you what, you talk about how good of a series that last series was when you talk about the Mariners and the Blue Jays. that performance in Game 4 is by that performance in Game 4. I'm sorry, by Shohei Ohtani was fantastic. Obviously, I don't. There was a conversation on Twitter, while I was watching the game. Is now this cementing him as the greatest player to ever play? Getting there. I think in baseball it's much harder to pick one guy. The best player I ever saw in my lifetime, just in my 5,000 years, is Barry Bonds. I don't think I saw an offensive player that could do all the things he does was Barry Bonds. Ken Griffey came pretty close. I always liked Bo Jackson too on the field. Bo was just a phenomenal athlete. Nowhere near like statistically or anything like that. But I just thought like that. But Ichiro is Roy Hobbs in terms of that. If you ever seen the movie Natural, shout out to the late Robert Redford. If you ever watched the movie Natural, Roy Hobbs, and there's a line in that movie, whatever he wants to do, he does. Right? There's just no such thing. Whatever he wants to hit, he hits. Whatever he wants to do, he does. And just 3 home runs in that Game 4 while pitching on the mound and getting 10 Ks on the team that won 97 games. And you're not even a starter. So that was unbelievable. I mean, I thought that was mind-blowing, fantastic stuff from the Dodgers as well. This series wasn't even, there was never any doubt, even in the first 2 games. And also to the one Achilles heel, the one thing that there was the issue that they had, I thought, throughout the course of the year, was their bullpen. That was solved, I think, at least a temporary. We'll see it next year if they continue to use Roki Sasaki, who had a rough first year as the closer. I think they're going to certainly do it at the end, considering that they're certainly going to have more Asian players come in. I mean, for sure. All the Asian players now, for sure, want to play in Los Angeles with Ohtani and these guys and all that. So, good stuff. I thought the Dodgers. One last thing. I saw a couple of people say they didn't like when Dave Roberts was talking about how the Dodgers are ruining baseball, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Y'all need to stop. He's supposed to win. If he didn't win, then you would say, well, he has all his talent and he's not winning. He's not supposed to do that. So when he actually goes out there and wins, well, now he's no. Doesn't work like that. It's not the Dodgers' fault that they're winning these series and the other teams don't spend money. All these guys who own MLB teams have over $1 billion, except for I think 2 or 3. I think the Marlins don't have $1 billion or over 20. I think there might be 2, but all these guys have $1 billion. Stop letting all the good players go to the Dodgers. I already heard it. Kyle Tucker, these Japanese players. That's on the rest of the MLB. I'm on the rest of the MLB. If you want to go ahead and lock out, which I do expect in 2027, that's not on them. So, they're supposed to try and win. Try and stop them. Y'all got money, for the most part. There are a couple teams, maybe not, but that's not on them. All right. So let's get to it here. Orioles still looking for a manager as well. So apparently a couple of names, just real quick before we get to the awards. Albert Pujols is apparently in consideration for the Orioles. I think I did the survey on the Ravori Sports Twitter page. It was about half and half. You guys were kind of, some were for it, some were against it. He's a player, obviously, what I believe, no managerial experience. However, he's not just some player, right? He's a guy who is the greatest player, I think. You want to talk about some of the great players we just talked about, Bonds, etc., Pujols. So, interesting to see. Scott Service's name has been around the Dodgers. The Giants just hired a college manager, manager University of Tennessee. I don't ever remember that, where a major league team hires a big-time college coach to go ahead and become the manager there. So some names still out there. Schumacher's off the board. We'll see how that goes with the manager. So the Orioles still searching for a manager here. I don't think the league now, like, you better do it before Thursday, because I think during the World Series, I'm not sure they're even allowed to do that, or if they do, it won't be announced until after the World Series. I don't think. So we'll see about that. Awards 2025. So Orioles have their awards and we have ours. What happened like the year of 2025? Obviously a little disappointing on the field, but we just had some performers. We just want to take a look at who performed on field and who Ravori Sports, how I would give awards to. I was just handing out all the awards in 2025 as we go into 2026 as well. Tell them, Weave. All right, so most improved player, I thought. So who was the guy that was the MIP, the guy who played the best, who moved the needle the most in 2025, who actually got better? Keegan Aiken, I thought, was good. I'm going to give him credit because he was on the roster all year long. He probably finished the year as a closer. Is he a closer all the time? No. But he was one of these guys, like, they just don't really seem to have regard for a lot of bullpen. He is now transitioned into a role where he is now going to be one of your staying points. He's not going to be a guy you're going to be shuffling up and down as well. After the trade deadline, it was just him, really, who was their main guy. So definitely shout out to Keegan Aiken. I thought one of the most improved. Westy, I thought, got better. I thought really was pretty good in 2025 as well. Jackson Holiday, I thought also too was number one. I thought Jackson Holiday was a guy definitely was sent up and down in 2024 as well. He's now going to be your starting shortstop every day in 2025. Every day in 2025. So okay, thank you. All right, sir. All right. So every day in 2025. This is going to be his spot going forward in 2026 for sure. He's going to lead off for the idea is that Jackson Holiday is going to lead off every day for years to come. Jackson Holiday, I thought, was the most improved Oriole 2025. Who is the best in the minor leagues? Number three is maybe the most fascinating. I think Nate George, I thought, moved up several levels. That's a thing. When an organization where it's hard to move in minor league baseball, believe it or not, some guys stay at single A, some guys stay at a level like this. He moved up, and he was good at all the levels. So here's a guy who definitely could be in AAA. I thought he was fantastic on the field as well. Force multiplier in Delmarva, force multiplier at all the levels he was at. George, I think, I don't know if he's going to be top 100 minor league player, but certainly has that. But the two top ones, obviously, Dylan Beavers. I think it's about time people stop sleeping on Dylan Beavers. He's pretty good. I thought his instincts for hitting the baseball are fantastic. Some guys have something that you just can't teach. He's got good bat speed, but he's got great instincts. I think he's a little understated defensively too. I don't know what people want in the outfield sometimes. I think like some people were complaining about Cowser in the outfield when I thought he was pretty good. And I thought it was the same with Beavers as well. A little green, I think, if anything. That's kind of what I saw. He didn't always have great instinct or great always in the outfield. I think he was a little green, but I thought he was great. The bat was fantastic. I thought the bat is definitely great as well. So again, here's a guy who kind of had to fight his way through. Not a first round pick, had to, so good for him. But Sam Basayo, I thought this is your catcher of the future. Gave him a large extension. Not as good as Beavers at the major league level at the end of the season. He was fantastic in the minors. Over 20 home runs. Definitely the ability to play first, DH. I don't know what I think of him as a catcher yet. I'm still. Everybody's have different opinions, and I'm kind of not sure when I see him. Like it seems like he, I need to see a little bit more of him as a catcher. I'm not impressed or unimpressed as a catcher. I think that matters at that position, especially that you have as a catcher. How good are you behind the plate? But yeah, I got no problem with him as a catcher as well. Esteban Mejia, number 3. Again, another one of these guys who kind of like was a riser as well. So, he was in the Winter League. I keep wanting to say Winter League, but he was in Florida, started out the year, had some good stats in Florida, really started impressing people. You started reading more and more about Mejia as well. And now he is for sure. There's an argument to be made. He's the best pitching prospect in the minor league. He's definitely a top 10 prospect in the system. We'll go over that as well. The top 10 in the Orioles system. But I do believe, I think he was definitely top 3 as well as far as his season being a prospect as well. So he was really good. Trey Gibson, I thought was good as well. I think he did have a bit of an injury issue as well, but Trey Gibson, I think, is really on pace to well. They're definitely going to. There's a universe where they look at him as a 5th starter in 2026. Not saying they're going to do that, but I think there's. I do think it's possible that's the case. That this guy, that they're actually looking at him as well as a 5th starter option as well. He's 23 years old. I thought he's been pretty good as well. But I think Michael Ferret was the best minor leaguer as well. So this is an area where the Orioles don't have a lot of depth. This is an area where we're a little bereft, I think, relatively speaking. But these guys will definitely give you hope. So these guys will definitely, 2026 are guys to keep an eye on. I would think they're going to all be in the minors. Trey Gibson, I think they're going to look at him possibly as well. But Ferret, Mejia, they're definitely going to. Mejia, I would think, at Bowie a lot of the year. Ferret probably Norfolk. Tripton probably Norfolk. We'll see. We definitely can see the top 2 in 2026. So really good stuff. I thought minor league pitcher, best defensive player. I always like Jackson better at short, but I think he's really turned into a really good second baseman as well. I think he's definitely got good hands as well. Very few mistakes for a young player, Jackson Holliday. He doesn't do it. He's very meat and potatoes as good as he is. Great bat speed, great swing, very meat and potatoes. Not a lot of foolishness, not a lot of stuff he taught. Lots to like with Jackson Holliday there as well. Colton Cowser. Stop telling me that Colton Cowser can't play center field. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that slander. That's a bologna sandwich any way you say it. That's a bologna sandwich any way you say it. Cowser is, I think, good defensively. He's good in center field. He's pretty good. I got no problem with Cowser. I think Cowser's an outstanding outfielder. He's not as good as Jordan Westberg. Jordan Westberg is, again, you talk about Holiday never making mistakes. You never see it with Holiday. Westberg. The thing I like about Westberg, I think he's better at all 3 positions. I think if he had to be an everyday shortstop for any period, the only flaw I think that Westberg has, I think he can't stay healthy. I think he's got to stay healthy for 150 plus games. He's going to progress as a major leaguer. Rookie of the year as well. Beavers, I thought, was number 3. I think he only had the cup of coffee, but he was really good in that cup of coffee. So it was good. There's a lot to like about Beavers. I'm not sure they're going to spend a lot of money on an outfielder with Beavers there. We'll see how that goes as well. We don't know with Michael Ash. We still don't have a manager yet and all that, but I thought as well. Greg Olson Award, by the way. One of my favorite Orioles, Greg Olson. Kobe Mayo. I'm okay with Kobe Mayo starting at first base next year. I thought Kobe Mayo hits for power. That's for sure. He had more home runs than Ryan Mountcastle. He had 10 home runs. He's going to hit the long ball. He's got he's still got I think, a little bit of hole in the swing to work on, but I think he's really, really good. Thomas Sassano, I think, has probably played his way off the roster being the best rookie, and not necessarily in a bad way, but I don't think they're going to give him what he had this year. Certainly, he was the best rookie. Now, you could argue whether the 35-year-old who spent all of his career in the Panthers should be a rookie. He's a rookie. He was their best rookie as well. I thought he was really good. I thought it could have been worse, for sure. You could have had a much, much, much less production out of him. So they got more than what they thought. Who was the best pitcher? Sagano, we just talked about him. Dean Kramer, number 2. Dean Kramer's a workhorse. He's not a stud. He's not an ace. He's not any of those things. He's going to give you innings. So managers, organizations have to have a guy like that, value a guy like that. So I think that's important. But Trevor Rogers was fantastic. No question about it. Jim Palmer Award. I think the only start, where he had any trouble was his last start. I did kind of notice he was tiring a little bit at the end, but that was it. But nothing but great stuff from Rogers. Guys couldn't catch up to him, ahead of him the whole time. Rogers was fantastic all year. My most valuable Oriole, Gunnar Henderson. We haven't talked about Gunnar, have we? As well. Gunnar, I don't think was as good last year, obviously. He didn't he's got to be more productive. I think his batting average was solid. I think that's why some people that did say he was good said that, because he was hit about 280. I think it was like 270, something like that. So, I mean, he can hit. He didn't really, to me, I didn't see a lot of thunder with him as well. The organization gave Trevor Rogers the most valuable Oriole, the media. I'm going to give it to Jackson Holiday. I thought Jackson Holiday was I thought he was the linchpin on in every phase as well. I thought the batting average dipped a little bit. I thought he slumped a little bit at the end. But I think had it not been for that, he definitely would have won most valuable Oriole. I'm giving him most valuable Oriole over Rogers. In all due respect to Rogers, but the whole season, I thought it was Jackson Holiday. There you go. Got it through. Thank you guys for joining us here. We'll be on after the Ravens game on Sunday and the Bears. Definitely check us out on all of our social media platforms. You out there watching right now, that video, Ravori Sports Podcast, tell your friend, tell your sister, tell your dad, tell anybody you know. Go ahead and subscribe to the Ravori Sports Podcast. We're here, Ravens and Orioles content as well. We will be here. Thank you guys for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.